final of the women's lightweight double sculls. Well, Germany won this 12 months ago, but they've not made the final on this occasion, so we're certain to have new champions. Lane 1 occupied by the British duo, Helen Mangan and Patricia Corliss. They're closest to you, and they've got quite a task on their hands in hardly what one would describe as improving conditions.
Well, Canada got away really quickly there. The United States didn't. They rather muffed that first couple of strokes, and as a result, they are last away.
Britain closest to you, then Canada in lane number 2. Canadians. And then in 3, here are the United States. New combination for them, although the US took the bronze a year ago. In lane number 4, Denmark. 5 are the Chinese. And completing the lineup on the far side, Holland. So Helen Mangan and Patricia Corliss, Dan, 4th last year, trying again.
Trying again. They've had not such a good season as last year. They've been struggling a bit, so they've done rather well to get to the final here. Moving well together, but already dropped back there. The United States, from that first bad start, those first few strokes, they've pulled right back up again. Had to do a lot of work to get there, but it's these two who are heading the field. And very good, hard Canadian long strokes there. Wendy Weber at bow, Colleen Miller in the stroke seat.
Yes, Wendy, who's taken over this season from Michelle Darville. She was rowing with Colleen last year when they picked up the silver medal, the Canadians, but they're still very much one of the favourites for today's competition.
Michelle Darville has gone in the single. She's going to be going later on in the regatta in the single scull. Canada very well represented at this regatta. They've had very good results in women's rowing. Their four top people have retired, but there's a very good batch of people coming up behind them, both in lightweight and in heavyweight women's rowing.
Well, it's fairly tight up front, with the exception perhaps of the British crew. Here, Sonia Remier and Lindsay Burns for the United States.
See how rough it is. This wind has really picked up. It's very difficult for lightweight rowers working into this headwind. It's kicking up the water a lot, and you can see it coming off their sculls.
And some fair gaps beginning to open up in the second quarter, but Canada with the advantage. Here are the Chinese, Fei Li and Fang Wang. Fang Wang stroking, and she's taken over from Ya Hong Ding. This combination, or I should say the original one last year, finished 9th overall, so they've done well, they've improved.
Well, the Chinese, like their athletes on the running track, are doing very well indeed now at rowing. They've been coming for a long time. They started in 1975, coming really to observe, came last in everything, and bit by bit they pulled back into contention. And here now, that the double there are doing very well indeed. United States back in contention after that bad start. Not quite as well together as their Canadian rivals there, who are rowing at a slightly lower rate, but moving extremely well between the strokes. Got about a half a length now, Canada, on the United States, who had to do a lot to get back into the field here. Might pay for it later on. The Chinese in 3rd place in lane 5, moving well. Very well drilled, these Chinese crews. There's a 4 and a women's quad in the regatta here. All of them very well disciplined, moving very well together, and this double, no exception to that.
On the far side, also trying to stay on terms of the Dutch pair, but here are the leaders at the moment, and they, together with the Chinese, look to be the two crews that are most comfortable out on the water. And you can see here, it really is a bit rough and bumpy. I
was wondering whether she was smiling or whether it was a grimace of pain, but she took a quick breath there and then went back to her smile. She seems to be enjoying this enormously. Very well together. You can see the sculls moving perfect unison. In difficult water like this, that's quite an achievement.
And an interesting fact, the Dutch are way out on the far side, 1:45.13 for the last quarter. Really trying now. They've given too much away. They've realised it, and they're trying to put themselves back, if not for the gold, with a chance of a medal there. And they're on the far side, just outside the Chinese, who at the moment are getting the better of their particular battle with the Americans.
The Chinese, you can see the sculls very well together on the pickup. Very good attacking sculling from China, hallmark of their rowing.
Cindy Rip for Holland, in the bow from De Hoop, the 27-year-old economic student. This her 4th World Championships, and stroking the partnership Ellen Melisi, who's taken over this season from Linda de Jong. She comes from the Zwolle Club, physiotherapist, and pretty experienced.
They're putting China under pressure. Canada's still out in front. It's a little bit the angle. Canada have got about a length clear now on China.
Worth remembering that Dutch combination, although they've got a lot to do. They were the winners in Lucerne. And way down at the back of the field at the moment now, after 1,500 metres, in 5th place Denmark, and slowest of all at the moment Great Britain.
I think the Dutch have shot their bolt a little bit. They're beginning to falter back there and are falling back again. The Chinese, though, are just putting on the pressure, piling it on. They're losing a lot of water, though, at the finish. You can see the water flying off their stroke, skull there. That's not going to help them. They're not keeping them well buried at the finish, but it's still very attacking stuff.
Canada then in the command position ahead of the Chinese, who in turn are saying goodbye quite quickly now to the United States. And the United States are going to have to find something, because they and the Dutch are fighting out at the moment for the bronze medal. Canada with clear water now, and then in lane number 5, China. Just outside them are the Dutch, and you can see the United States now. They haven't found anything at all, and to me, Dan, they're not going to.
No, I think they had to do so much work in the first 500 metres to get back on terms after that bad start, that they've really lost that power. And the Dutch have now found something extra, and they've pulled ahead of the United States. But it's Canada out in front. China being put under pressure now by Holland.
Canada striding towards their first gold medal of the championships, and this has been an impressive row right from the start, and they're going to take the gold. But the battle for silver is getting very close. The Chinese being really challenged on the top of the picture by the Dutch, but they've done enough and they take the silver. And the Americans, who had nothing left, finish in 4th place ahead of Denmark 5, and Great Britain finding this company pretty hot. Decisive victory, and my goodness, Dan, don't they look comfortable, really recovered?
Yes, they had that in hand all the way. It was very good. And now suddenly rather late congratulating each other. And you see how they did it. Just about a clear length ahead of China, with a fast closing Holland just failing by a matter of a foot or two to get the silver.
Gold, silver and bronze on your screen, and some big gaps to the rest. So the Canadian duo, Wendy Wiebe and Colleen Miller, receiving their gold medals from Mr. Roland Weil, the Vice President of the International Rowing Federation, FISA. And now 2 very happy ladies representing China, Fei Li and Fang Wang. And a very good improvement. Fei Li, who was part of the partnership which finished 9th, now taking a silver. And Holland, Cindy Rip and the very experienced Ellen Melisi, who herself was a world champion in 1988 in double sculls in Milan, today receiving the bronze medal.